Kevin Lehtiniitty joins us now. He is the CEO of Borderless.xyz, making, I believe, your taking stock debut. First time on the show.
First time on this one.
All right, it's awesome.
Thank you for having me on, JD.
It's very nice to have
it.
you. Give our viewers who might be a bit unfamiliar a bit of an introduction to Borderless.xyz and among your top priorities here in 2026.
Sure. Oh, I've been in the stablecoin space for a decade now. 2026 marks 10 years, which is a long time to joke that stablecoin adoption is coming. Thankfully, we're finally there. And what we set out to do with Borderless was create the category that is now known as stablecoin payments networks. So if we imagine banks, and we imagine a world in which something like SWIFT doesn't exist, and every bank has to integrate the API of every other bank it ever wants to transact with, that's obviously not scalable. We solve that through networks. In the stablecoin world, that didn't exist. If you have a local payments provider that's in Brazil who wants to transact with somebody in Africa, they've got to go and actually make these technological integrations and these relationships through a stablecoin payments network. All of a sudden now you get counterparties that are regulated entities all over the world, all in one place. Makes stablecoin cross-border way more scalable.
Why don't stablecoins always trade at the same price? What should people know about general pricing for the landscape if they've heard of them as potential vehicles and investment initiatives, but maybe not really know all the details?
It's a great question. There's two very specific attributes that are really important here. One is which stablecoin are you trading? So people have heard of Circle's USDC, people have heard of Tether's USDT. There's a whole bunch of other ones coming out, especially post-Genius Act. That's certainly one important element, and the reason that's important is the depth of liquidity that exists against the fiat markets. So as an example, Tether, which has been really driving adoption in the global south and has been around for a very long time, focused on these retail use cases, has a lot more trading volume and a lot more liquidity in Latin America than Circle does. So that certainly impacts the USDC BRL rate versus the USDT BRL rate. And the second is actually the payments provider or the venue. If we look at countries like Brazil, one payments provider to another, they all trade on average within 50 basis points of each other, so it's a pretty tight market. But if you go to Argentina or to Peru or some of these other markets, you can actually see 5 to 6% pricing swings, depending on which particular provider you're trading with or you're using for your payments.
Kevin, it's been 6 months or so since the passage of the Genius Act over on Capitol Hill. We've had a lot of guests talk about what it has done for the industry at long last. To your point, after all these years, where are we 6 months later?
I think we're seeing a lot more adoption. The question at the time was, is this just going to be kind of a vanity thing, or is this actually going to be, at long last, the regulation that allows for stablecoin adoption to go more mainstream at the enterprise and institutional level? Since the passing of the Genius Act, we've seen Zelle announce that they're building a stablecoin product. Zelle obviously being the bank peer-to-peer transfer system in the US. That's one of the most used ways to move money peer-to-peer in this country. We've seen Western Union announce that they're going to be launching a stablecoin. Western Union is one of the world's biggest global remittance companies. We have a customer called Bastion. Bastion has announced that they will be powering Sony's stablecoin. So you're seeing these large enterprises, whether they're corporates, money movers, bank conglomerates, they're all moving into stablecoins. So while it's still a little bit early to tell, we're 6 months in, not 6 years in, I think there's now very credible early traction that you can point to that said, yes, Genius has made a difference and stablecoins are here to stay.
I was about to say, come back 6 months from now so you can do the 1 year recap, but I hope it's not that long until we have you back on the show. You're a great guest, Kevin. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it.